ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति सुखदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुश्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिकाकांत राधाकांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। पंचाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। अभ्रमं भंगरहितं अजडं विमलं सदा आनन्दतीर्थम् अतुलं भजे तापत्रयापहं। चित्रैपदैश्च गम्भीरे वाक्यैर्मानेरखण्डिते गुरुभावं व्यञ्जयन्ती भाति श्रीजयतीर्थवाक्। अर्थकल्पितकल्पोऽयं प्रत्यर्थगजकेसरी व्यासतीर्थगुरुर्भूयात् अस्मदिष्टार्थसिद्धे। जयति श्री गोविंदो गोपीनाथ समदन गोपालः क्षामि यस्य कृपया प्रमेय रत्नावलिं सूक्ष्मं भक्ताभासेनापि तोषं ददाने धर्माध्यक्षे विश्व निस्तारिणाम्नि नित्यानन्दाद्वैत चैतन्य रूपे तत्त्वे तस्मिन् नित्यम् आस्तां रतिर्नः। आनंदतीर्थ नाम सुखमय धाम यतिर्जीयात् संसारार्णवतारिणां यम इह जनाः कीर्तयन्ति बुधाः। भवति विचिन्त्या विदुषां निरवकरा गुरुपरम्परां नित्यम् एकान्तित्वं सीदयति ययोदयति येन हरितोषः। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। So what were the things that we discussed in the previous session? Anybody remembers? Hare Krishna. Are you all able to hear me? Yes, no, my voice is clear, not clear?
Yes, Guruji, your voice is clear.
So what did we discuss in the previous session? Anybody can recollect? Basically, we discussed about what a pramana is, what a prameya is, and who a pramata is. Remember?
Yes.
Yes. So what is pramana lakshana? What is a pramana?
Pramana is the object to be known. Sorry.
I gave a lakshana in Sanskrit. Anybody noted it down?
The object.
Yathartha jnanam pramana. Knowledge as it is called pramana. So if it is asked for 2 marks, you should write this. Yathartha jnanam pramanam. Okay. And prama vishayaha prameyaha. The object of knowledge is called prameya. What you want to know, that object is called prameya. You got it till now? Yes or no? Are you all able to get what I say?
Oh, sorry, Guruji, can you repeat?
Yes.
Yathartha jnanam pramanam. Knowledge as it is called pramana. This is the definition or lakshana. So if I ask what is the lakshana of pramana, you should say yathartha jnanam pramana. Okay? Then
yes.
Prameya is prama vishaya prameya. The object of knowledge. Prama vishaya prameya. Is that clear?
Yes.
Can we say this pramathanam is pramanam and prama is yatharth jnana?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Pramakaranam pramanam and prama means yathartha jnana.
Pramakaranam is pramanam, yes, and that prama means yathartha dhanam, that is there, but as of now, to keep it simple, I am just giving it. Pramana can also be defined as yathartha dhanam. Okay.
In
So,
the actually in the same line that like pramana the same is prameyam in the same.
Prama Vishaya Prameha and Pramavan Pramata. Pramavan Pramata, the person who is gaining the knowledge, he is called Pramata. Okay, so these three things are okay, right? Now we are getting into the first Prameya of this book. What is the first Prameya of this Grantha? Yes? Hare Krishna. You are all able to.
Hari,
What is the
Hari Ishvara,
Hari Parataraha? Hari
Hari
Parataraha.
Paratara.
Yeah. Can somebody else also repeat? What is the first Prameya? Tanvi Mataji, can you say what is the first Prameya?
Sorry, Prabhuji, due to being out of town, I am unable to get you. I'm so
The
sorry.
first Prameya is called Hari Parataraha. Harihi Parataraha, or Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay. So all of you can note down. Next time I will ask this same question. What is the first Prameya? First Prameya is Harihi Parataraha. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now we have to establish this using Pramana. Prameya has to be established using Pramana. So what are the Pramana that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Okay, so first Gopala Tapani Upanishad is being quoted in this regard. If you go to the original text, you will find the Gopal Tapani Upanishad is quoted there. Tasmat Krishna evo parao devas tam dhyayet tam raset tam bhajet tam yajet. Therefore, Krishna alone is the supreme God. One should remember, utter, serve and worship him in the form of his mantra and its referent. Okay, so here directly Baldev Vidyabhushan is coming to the point. What is the point? That Krishna is the supreme Lord and you have to remember him. Dhyahet tam raset tam bhajet tam yajet. You have to worship him, then you have to glorify him. So everything should be in connection with the Supreme Lord. That is the idea. The Supreme Lord Krishna. Now, there is one question here. For those who understand Samskrita, they can understand this better. What is the word you used here? Hari Paratara. And Paratara is using Tara Pratyaya. Means it is Hari is better. There is something called good, better, best. Right? Para, Paratara, Paratama. So, if there is some Hari is Paratara, is there a Paratama? That is the question. If Hari is better than others, then is there a best? You are getting this question?
Yes, Prabhuji, yes.
Others, are you able to follow the question that I asked?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Let me know if anybody has any confusion in this. Just a minute. Okay. So, Hari Paratara. Paratara means, what does it mean? Just I told you.
It is good. It is good, better, best. It is like better, not the best.
Better
Yes.
than others.
So why is the word paratara used here? So that is a question actually. That's a bewildering question. Anybody? Yes, Sudhanshu Prabhu, you want to say something?
Hare Krishna Puji. I'm just trying to because it's not. I'm not sure. So if we say different categories, so one is category is Jiva category, another is Hari category, like Swans Vivinnans. So in that sense, it is since it is two, so it is said this is the better than others to differentiate the two.
Okay, so then there is a comparison with the jivas, that is why it is saying better than jivas. That is what you are trying to say. Okay, but then we are not giving the message. We want to give the message that he is supreme means he is supreme to matter, he is supreme to living entities, he is supreme to liberated souls, to Mahalakshmi Devi, to practically everything. So that is the message that we are supposed to give. Can this give? This doesn't seem to be giving that. Actually, there are two words here. One is para and one is tara, which have to be taken separate. Actually, there is no comparison with the Supreme Lord at all. You can never say Supreme Lord is better than somebody like that. He supreme means supreme in all aspects. For example, somebody is richer than others, or he is more powerful than others. Okay, there are some 50 people, maybe one person is richer than 45 people but poorer than 4 people. So he is richer than others means he has little more. But the Supreme Lord, he possesses everything. So because he possesses everything, he can never be compared with anyone. So the comparative degree can never be used for the Lord. So for the Lord, we always use the para. Supreme Lord is para. He is great, or he is greatest. It's always that like that. Now, what is the meaning of this? Now, one thing you should understand: when somebody is great, then people will ask help from you. Correct? When a rich person is there, they would want to take help from him and get their work done. So similarly, when there is a powerful person, they would want to take help from him. So he helps these people who are in power, who are superior, help others. That is the idea. Now, when you say para tara, para means he is topmost, he is supreme, and tara means he is not just supreme, he delivers us also. Tara taranam, tarayati, he delivers us from the ocean. So that is the meaning of tara, means the deliverer. So he is the supreme and he is the supreme deliverer from our situation also. So that actually gives us hope that the Supreme Lord he is not just powerful, but he helps us also to come out from our miserable situation. So tam dhyayet, tam raset, tam bachet, tam ejet. To that Supreme Lord you should always meditate on, you should always get attached to, you should always glorify, and you should always worship. That is the meaning that is given in the Gopala Tapani Upanishad. Everything is clear till now, or any confusion? Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Prabhuji, can you just repeat why is there a comparative?
Regarding the paratara word, right?
Yes.
So paratara
Excuse me, Puji.
yes,
Harish.
yes.
Sorry for interrupting, Puji. Actually, I joined little late, so if you can just summarize in some
Yes, I am
minutes,
coming
sorry.
to that point only. It is said Hari Paratara. So there can be question, Krishna is better. What do you mean better? You should have written Hari Paratama. Krishna is the best, or Vishnu is the best. Why are you using a comparative degree? He is better. Better means better than whom? Does it mean that there is somebody better than him? This can be a question. So why Paratara is used? So it's very important to understand. This paratara is not used in a comparative degree here. Actually speaking, there cannot be any comparative degree possible with Krishna or Vishnu. It's impossible. For example, for whom do we use comparative degree when he is better than others? Means, let's say there are a section of 50 people in which one person is richer than 45 people. Then you say he is richer than 45 and poorer than 4, or he is richer than 49, you may say. But Supreme Lord possesses everything. He possesses all wealth, all strength, all beauty, all knowledge, all renunciation. He possesses everything. Person who possesses everything, there is no question of comparing him with anybody. So, we always should use superlative degree or positive degree for the Lord. There is no question of comparative degree at all. Hari Para means Lord is supreme. Finish. That's all. Then what is the Tara? Somebody who is powerful will want to help others. Right? Richer person, people ask favors from him and he helps. Similarly, powerful person, influential person, people ask them favor and they help. So similarly, this Supreme Lord helps others. That is why Tara means the deliverer. Tarana, Tarayati, the one who delivers us. So he is not just supreme holding his seat, but he is delivering us also. That is why Para, Tara are the two words used. It is not used in a comparative degree. That is why that Supreme Lord we should meditate on, we should worship, we should develop love for him, and we should glorify him. That is the meaning of this verse in the Gopala Tapani Upanishad. Is it clear for all of you?
Yes. Yes, Puji, thank you.
Okay, so now Shvetashvara Upanishad, he gives another pramana, Baldev Vidyabhushan, from the Shvetashvara Upanishad. Jnatva devam sarva pashapahani kshida klesher janma mrityu prahani tasyabhidhyanat tritiyam deha bhede vishvaishwaryam kevalam apta kama. Now, one may question, okay, he is the supreme, he is the deliverer. Just a minute, please, there is somebody here. ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಹೌದು ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಹಾಂ ಸೊ ಓಕೆ he is the supreme deliverer. So what will happen to me knowing that? So once you know the Supreme Lord, then all bonds of death will vanish. By meditating upon the Supreme Lord, all distress will be destroyed, and once repeated birth and death will come to an end. Okay, and one will attain his pure abode, which has unlimited opulences, and all one's desires are fulfilled. So the immediate results of worshipping this Supreme Lord is indicated here. Once you worship this Supreme Lord, what happens is you will reach the ultimate abode. You will reach the abode where there is eternal happiness, and all your miseries, all your distress will be overcome. So that is why Paratara, that is why he is the deliverer of everyone. So that Supreme Lord we should see. One thing you should understand, what we discussed in the last class was Pramana Sahita. Primarily Acharyas give Shastra Pramana to establish whatever their statements is. So this is how we should also work. You see here, he is giving Shvetashvara Upanishad, he is giving Gopala Tapani Upanishad, which are Shruti Pramanas, which are Pramanas from the Vedas. So through Vedas as the highest authority, then comes the Purana authority, and then comes the Acharya Vakyas, and finally it is Apta Vakya. So there is a difference in hierarchy of Pramanas. Sometimes they say anecdotes like Prabhupada said this, Prabhupada said that, but then anecdotes are lesser Pramanas than the Acharya Vakyas themselves, because anecdotes have to be verified along with the teachings of Prabhupada. So similarly, the teachings of acharyas, the Puranas are the authority of Puranas are superior to that, and the Shruti Pramanas are the highest. So here two Shruti Pramanas are given. Which are they? Which are the two Shruti Pramanas?
Gopalata Upanishad and Shvetashvatara Upanishad.
Yes, Gopalata Upanishad and Shvetashvara Upanishad. These are the two Pramanas that are given. Okay. Etatniyam nityam evatma samstham nata param veditavyam hikinchit. The eternal supreme soul of who dwells within the individual soul is to be known, beyond whom there is nothing else to be known. So that is the highest knowledge. What we are speaking of, this knowledge of the supreme soul is the highest knowledge. That is the point that is indicated here. And there is Smriti Pramana also given, the Pramana from Bhagavad Gita. Matta Paratanam Nanyat Kinchin Asti Dhananjaya Mai Sarvam Idam Protam Sutre Maniganaiva. So just like pearls are taking rest on a thread, pearls are strung on a thread and they are taking rest. Similarly, everything is under my support, the Supreme Lord says. So Krishna says that everything is supported by him. And there is nobody Paratanam Nanyat, there is nobody greater than the Supreme Lord. That is indicated in the Bhagavad Gita. So these are the pramanas that are given here. Okay. Now, when we say the Supreme Lord is deliverer, he actually delivers us from the dangerous ocean of birth and death. Okay. And from the sufferings, just like a kitten. The example is given in the Kantimala here, which we have heard of. Kitten and cat. For the rat, if it is in the cat's mouth, it is on the verge of death. It is in fear. Whereas if the kitten is in the mouth of the cat, it is having motherly love and it doesn't have any fear. So similarly, when one is under the care of the Supreme Lord, then there is no fear. So even death is also transformation to the spiritual world, world of eternity. So that is why when one is meditating on the Supreme Lord, even when his deha is destroyed, his body is destroyed and his subtle body is destroyed, he is actually transferred to the Supreme Abode. Now the question comes, you are saying the Supreme Abode, Supreme Abode, Supreme Abode. Where else can the person go after death? Is there any other place where we can go? Yes? What do you all think? Are there many places where different people go? Take word.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, can I know?
Sorry, but I'm unable to change my name. Yeah. So, actually, Prabhuji, I want to ask one prior question. You mentioned Hari Paratarah. But I have this copy of Prameya Ratnavali. Here it is mentioned like, what is mentioned? Tatra Shri Vishnuhu Paratamatvam Yatha Gopalopanishadi.
Yes,
So
yes.
Paratamatvam only mentioned. Paratara,
Yes.
where it is?
Actually, the original shloka coined by Vyasatirtha has the word Paratara. And because people should not misunderstand it, Baldev Vidyabhushan makes it very clear that Paratamatvam is there. But behind that, how to establish that process I gave you. That's all. You got it? The original shloka of the Vyasatirtha has the word Paratara. Srimad Madhvapate Hari Paratara Satyam Jagat Tattvato, like that. It has the word Paratara. But because Baldev Vidyabhushan has given his commentary, and in that commentary, he has not put the original shloka of Madhvacharya here. He has given the commentary, and in that he has written Paratamatva in the first one.
Prabhuji, even like you are saying for this one, Atha Prameyanyudishyante Sri Madhva Praha Vishnum Paratamam Akshila
Yes. So
Akshilannaya
the
Vedyam.
original shloka he has not written. He has just, what is that? He has written the matter in his own words. If you see the original shloka of Vyasatirtha, you search it on the internet, the shloka coined by Vyasatirtha, that has the word Paratara.
Okay, Prabhuji. Sure.
And he has come. Mataji, can I know your name?
Yeah, Vasundhara Mataji.
Okay, yes. So that Baldev Vidyabhushan has written in the form of commentary, and in that he has just said Hari Paratamatva.
Hmm.
And the explanation for that I gave.
Okay.
So we understood that Supreme Lord is supreme and he is the deliverer, and anyone who takes shelter of him goes to his abode. Now, does it mean there are other abodes where we go? What do you think?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
As Lord Krishna says, Udham gachanti sattvastha madhe tishtanti rajasa jagannagun vrittastho adho gachanti tamsa. So there are different types of categories like that where we can go.
Yes, there are different places. We all know about it that with better punya you can go to Swargaloka, heavenly planets, and with if you are maintaining the same level you will be here, and if a papa is there, sin is there, then we fall down into lower species. Now the 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita explains about the different ways of living the world. Anybody recollects that?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Vanyamapi smam
Yes, but before that there is some specific times, specific places,
Ach-
specific section.
that is Akshiradi Mark are you asking about? That
Sorry?
the path of darkness and path of light.
Yes.
Uh,
So Agnir JyotirAh Shuklo Shanmasa Uttarayana Tatra Prayata Gachanti Brahma Brahma Vidyute Dhumo Ratris Tata Krishno Shanmasa Dakshinayana Tatra Chandramasa Gato Yogi Prapya Nivartate. Now, one who is going through the Surya Marga and one who is going through the Chandra Marga, there are two ways. Saura Marga and Chandra Marga. One who worships the Gayatri Mantra and the Supreme Lord through the Gayatri and meditates on the Supreme Lord and he achieves perfection through that meditation. He goes through Saura Marga all the way to Brahma or Absolute Truth, to Vaikuntha, eternally liberated. Such people don't come back to this world. Whereas those who worship other devas, those who worship Pitris, ancestors, primarily as the supreme, they get a lot of punya and they go through the Chandra, they go through the path of moon to the Pitriloka or other heavenly planets. And this is temporary. Once you go there, you enjoy for some years and you come back to this world. So that is the Saura Marga and the Chandra Marga, or the Brahma Marga and Chandra Marga. So there is the Chandra Loka, where there is more material heavenly enjoyments. But those are also temporary, because once your punya is over, you come back to this world. Then there is a facility to go to the Satyaloka. Satyaloka is the highest point in this material universe. So a person who is on the path of liberation but not ready, he first goes to the Satyaloka. And along with Brahma, he has perfected his life, and Brahma leaves the world, he will be liberated. Now the liberated people go to Vaikuntha Loka. Okay, and Vaikuntha is the ultimate spiritual destination beyond the material skies. There is nothing superior to that. Now, those who have heard my Vedanta Samantaka understand that there is a concept called Vishesha. Anybody knows about it?
A specific feature project.
Can somebody try to explain?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Where differences, where actually there is no difference, but it is shown in terms of differences, that is Vishesha. I'm not able to put in
Only
right
for
words
our
what is that.
dealings we are using differences. Actually, there is no difference in the forms of the Lord. It will come in the next section, but I am telling in advance. Actually, there are no differences in the different forms of the Lord. There is a Shruti Vakya which says that any difference if you make, you will fall down in the forms of the Lord. If you treat the forms differently, or within the form if you treat the different angas differently, if you say that one is less God and one is bigger God, then we will fall down. There is no slightest difference in the absolute truth. Swagata Bheda Vivarchita. There are three types of Vedas. One is Sajatiya Bheda, one is Vijatiya Bheda, one is Swagata Bheda. Sajatiya Bheda means Bheda within its own category. For example, we are all human beings. Among us human beings only there is difference. We are all different from each other. Similarly, Vijatiya Bheda. Between humans and trees, there is a difference. Humans and trees cannot be the same. Similarly, Swagata Bheda. Within ourselves also, our hand is different, our leg is different, our eyes are different. So, within ourselves also, there is difference. Whereas in absolute truth, Parabrahman, there is no Sajatiya Bheda, or there are no two Parabrahmans who are like each other and who are different from each other. It does not there. Similarly, there is no Vijatiya Bheda means that there is different God, there is another God of different category and they are different from each other. That type of thing is not there. It's all one absolute truth. Swagata Bheda. Within the absolute truth also there is no difference. For example, Anganiyasya Sakalendriya Vrittimanti Pashyanti Bhanti Kalayanti Chiram Jaganti. Every organ of Supreme Lord can perform the work of every other organ. Hands can perform the work of legs, legs can perform the work of eyes, eyes can perform the work of hair, and hair can even kill people. So, that is the power of Supreme Lord. Every Anga, every Avatara, every Rupa, there is no difference between them. They are all the same. Now, but then how to understand it? How are we going to understand if every form, every aspect of Supreme Lord is the same? Now, there is something called Vishesha. Just like you say red cloth. Please bring that red cloth. Or please bring that blue book. Can you separate red from cloth? Can we separate the redness from the cloth?
No.
Now, similarly, blue book, we cannot separate the blueness from the book. It is a property of the book, correct? Now, when they are inseparable, but just for dealings, we are differentiating by using some word like red and blue based on what appears to us. Just for our dealings, we are using, you are treating it differently. We are treating it differently, but actually there is no difference. You are getting it. So similarly, the forms of the Lord, just for our dealings, we are treating them differently. Based on the rasas, based on the leelas, we are treating them differently, but they are not different Supreme Lords or they are not differently potent. That is where there is no difference between them, but just on account of Vishesha, we are treating them differently. Is this point clear to all?
Yes, Prabhuji, yes.
Because we can tend to get confused, especially when we read the Shastras which are more advanced. Chaitanya Charitamrita, there are other works and all. This is more explicitly it comes that the different forms of Vishnu are there. Krishna has more qualities than Vishnu, and all these things come. Now, it can happen that without much philosophical knowledge, we misunderstand these things, that there is some supreme God Vishnu, Krishna, and there is some less supreme God Vishnu. That is not what the philosophical understanding is. Philosophically, Tattva, they are all the same Supreme Lord. Just that it is Visheshana, the different, just like you say beautiful boy. The beautiful and boy are Sambodhana to the same person. Or intelligent girl. The intelligent and girl are referring to the same person. But the two words are used to describe the person better, to give a better impression of the same person. So similarly, when we say Krishna or Vishnu, they are like the different attributes of the same absolute truth, but they are used to describe the individual better, the absolute truth better. That is the way we should understand this point. Okay, clear?
Prabhuji, can we say that by tattva every is the same, and by rasa we can categorize them?
Rasa also, when we categorize, they don't become the different Lord. It is just the different Visheshanas or the different adjectives we are using for the same absolute truth. That is how we understand.
So, Prabhuji, that is why they are known as Vishnu Tattva. Tattva means
Yes.
one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
But the adjectives are different. We should never, more we read on this, sometimes we can slip into it, saying that this is different and Goloka is superior Dhama than Vaikunta, Krishna is supreme than Vishnu. So that such discrimination we should not slip into.
Prabhu, but Krishna is avatari, like Ete Chance Kalapumsa. So Krishna is avatari and all are avataras. So how?
So avatari is an attribute of the same Vishnu as Krishna. You should not neha na nasti kinchana. The Shruti Pramana is there is no slighted difference between the two forms of absolute truth. So however you understand this concept of avatari, it should not violate the principle that there is a difference, that there is no difference. So you should
Yes.
understand there are no difference, but they are different adjectives to refer to Krishna's form as avatari and Vishnu form as avatar. That is the understanding. Is that clear?
Uniqueness is there. Yes, yes, clear.
Uniqueness is just for dealings, not in the tattva. The truth remains the same. Is that clear?
So Prabhuji,
There was an author called Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. Prabhupada mentions about him that he wrote that the Vishnu of Vaikuntha is a different person, and the Krishna of Mathura is different, the Krishna of Dwarka is different, the Krishna of Vrindavan is different. And Prabhupada was criticizing him for that. He said, this is a wrong understanding. Actually, there is no difference in the different forms. There is a lecture in which Prabhupada mentions this. Yeah.
yes, Prabhuji, miss, we should be try to imbibe the bhava of Murari Gupta, right? Okay.
Yeah. Now, when this is the understanding of Tattva of Supreme Lord, same applies to their abodes also. The Vaikuntha Dhama, where Mahavishnu resides, or Garbhodakshai Vishnu resides, this is a very critical point you should understand. If this base is clear, many other points, I don't want to get into controversies, but there are issues like Jiva Faldon issue and all those things which have bewildered people. But if we get some of these basics right, maybe these things are better understood. The Shweta Dvipa, or the Vaikuntha where Mahavishnu resides, the Vaikuntha where the different forms of Vishnu are there, the Ramarchandra Loka, the Goloka Vrindavana, or the Mathura Loka, eternal spiritual world. So all these are different attributes where dealings are different, whereas one is not a lesser abode than the other. When we read advanced topics like Brihad Bhagavatamrita, where Gopakumara finds satisfaction in Goloka and not so much in Vaikuntha Loka reference, that should not be misunderstood that there is some less Ananda in Vaikuntha and greater Ananda in Goloka. It was just that for the Swarupa of Gopakumara, he was going to fit there. That is the understanding we have to derive from there. Otherwise, sometimes we may think that Vaikuntha is like a fallen down situation and Goloka is like the topmost. So, such type of tattva misunderstanding should not be there. Is that clear?
So Prabhu, what mood we should have is, although imitating Murari Gupta's mood may not be
No, that was his
easy,
Swarupa. His
but then-
Swarupa was for a particular deity. There is no description that he disrespected other forms of the Lord. It is just that for his Swarupa he was attracted. Now we are far away from knowing our Swarupa because we are still attached to the objects of material world. So for us, we definitely should respect the different forms of the Lord.
But then, Prabhuji, in the nectar of instruction, we have a clear hierarchy of even the abodes. Like within Vrindavan, the Radhakunda is the topmost. So, how we should
So that is
understand
on
this?
account of Vishesha. Special Leelas are performed there. So the same Absolute Truth performs some special Leelas just for dealing. Internally you should not think that there is something greater and different than Vaikuntha. There is some less Ananda, less happiness in Vaikuntha than there. Bliss of Vaikuntha, you should not say that somewhere there is more, somewhere there is less. Correct. Then question will come of if that bliss is like that, then what about others? So the dealings are different. The Vyavhara is different. But that is where we say the Radha Kunda is the topmost, because that is where the Supreme Lord performs the highest pastimes. And so we glorify him performing those pastimes. But in Tattva, there is no difference. It's a more philosophical
We should
point,
cultivate.
but at least
So we should not.
those who are in Vedanta should be clear with that. That is why it is.
So the main point is we should not disrespect the other abodes or other of avtaras, and we should have a not a disliking for their pastimes as well. Means we
Yes,
should have,
yes,
although,
yes. You should
but we should
understand
have
it
a.
is Supreme Lord, and more you hear about any form of the Lord, it is for our spiritual upliftment only.
But while having this understanding, we should still at the same time develop our exclusive bhava for whichever deity
No, that
that
we don't know,
with
Prabhu.
it.
That is our
Okay.
Swarupa. We don't. It's too early to know that. It's only during the time of liberation it will be revealed to us. Gopakumara, after even going to Vaikunta, he was still having some. He was still supposed to have more realizations. He went again to Ramachandra Loka. He went again to Dwaraka, and then he went to Goloka. So even after going to Vaikunta, the journey was long. So like that, we don't know where our Swarupa is. It's too early to decide.
So, but being in a Gaudiya Vaishnava lineage, we should develop our exclusive feeling for Krishna, right? That
That will
that is the
naturally come if
message.
you are following the Raganuga Bhakta. Prabhupada is a Raganuga Bhakta. Valdev Vidyabhushan is a Raganuga Bhakta. If we start gaining knowledge from them, then the knowledge that we gain, the chanting that we do, the procedure they follow, that will naturally awaken the Swarupa. No need to create that artificial feelings of attraction. It will naturally awaken. Just like a hungry person, as he starts eating, his hunger will go. Similarly, this affection will naturally come if we just follow the procedure given by the acharyas.
Okay, bro. Understood, bro. Thank you.
Okay. Now, the next verse highlights about Lord Krishna's being superior. Okay, Lord Krishna is superior because he is the Nimitta Karana and Upadana Karana. Question comes, if Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna is superior and he is the cause of everything, then does he get his hands dirty? When he creates a pot, potter gets his hands dirty. So similarly, the mud transforms into pot. Now, there are multiple schools that have different thoughts in this regard. So, is it that the Supreme transforms into material world, or Supreme is like a potter who makes the pot of the material world? Got the difference? There are some schools which say that there is just one lump of mud that became pot. So absolute truth is like that lump of mud which transforms itself into pot, or the absolute truth transforms into Prakriti or the material world. There is one school of thought which says that. There is another school of thought which says that no, there is a potter who makes the mud transform into pot. So similarly, there is a person who transforms the Prakriti into the way it is now, who creates this. So that is the second school of thought. So now, another school of thought says Supreme Lord is both. As Prakriti, he is transforming, he is changing, and as Purusha, he himself is the person who is creating that change. So these are the three schools of thought. So you got this Purva Paksha, the point which we are going to discuss now, Nimitta Karana and Upadana Karana. So Nimitta Karana is the instrument,
Yes, Prabhuji.
potter, and the Upadana Karana is something which changes, mud changes into pot. So thing that changes is Upadana, and the person who doesn't change but who acts as an instrument for the change, that is Nimitta. So some school says absolute truth is the Upadana Karana, absolute truth transforms into the material. Some school says he is the Nimitta Karana, he is the person who makes the transformation of Prakriti, which is something else. Now some school says he is both. So what is the right thing? Which one we subscribe to? That is the question. Got it?
Third one, he is both.
Okay.
Sakti
Anybody else?
Pranambad.
But even if we say that he is both, it still will be a paradox. But even if he is creating, then from the Satchit Ananda, how is something opposite, that is the
That is the
material
problem.
world, is
Yeah, that is the problem. So material world is jada, it is temporary, it is dukkhamay. How can Paramasatya create jada? Temporary. How can Paramasatya transfer absolute knowledge and bliss get transformed into temporary? That is the question that is raised for this theory of being both. Okay. Anything else? Anybody else wants to dwell on this?
Prabhu, just actually regarding that Prameya, Hari Parataraha, actually in the Dr. Damien Martin's book also, in the page number 11, Roman 11, the words mentioned in the diacritics is Hari Paratamaha Satyam.
Okay,
So
yeah, that's
how
what I
he,
told you. This work is like a commentary, and that is why Paratama is used. But if you go to the original shloka which Vyasatirtha has coined, this shloka is coined by Vyasatirtha, and Baldev Vidyabhushan has just used it and given commentary on that. So the original shloka has the word Paratara.
okay, so this original shloka is taken from which work of Srila Vyasatirtha?
Vyasatirtha, it is there in, in the introduction to Nyayamrita, it's there. He has not used it in a specific work. He was sitting in a sabha. I told you in the first class. He was sitting in a sabha and somebody just questioned him. In one shloka, I want to know the whole teachings of Madhvacharya. That is when he immediately recited this shloka. I will share the whole shloka in the group later on. You all can. It's good to memorize. We will recite that in the next class. And every class when we recite it, we will be able to memorize it eventually. Okay, so coming back to Nimitta Karana and Upadana Karana. Now, of course, Supreme Lord cannot be, the absolute truth cannot be Upadana Karana completely. Why? Because one characteristic of material world is avidya, ignorance. And in Parabrahma, in absolute truth, there is no ignorance, there is no avidya. So if you just say there is Upadana Karana only, that is the Mayavadi idea. There are two schools, one is called Vivartavad, one is called Parinamavad. The schools of Parinamavada say that absolute truth transformed into matter, changed itself into matter. That is called Parinamavad. Sankhya philosophers subscribe to that. Then Vivartavad, they don't get into this because then they have to explain how absolute truth had avidya, ignorance. So they have to explain that. So they don't get into it. What they say is, no, there is no transformation happening. Just like you are going home. In villages traditionally there was no electricity. So a person after working all day comes back home. Once he comes back home, opens the door and it's dark, suddenly he screams. So everyone comes running. Why he is screaming? Why he is screaming? Then he says there is a snake. Then they bring lamps, torches, and when they see, it was just a rope. What had happened? The rope was there. He fell into illusion that it's a snake. The snake was superimposed on the rope by his ignorance. Because of ignorance, on the rope he had superimposed a snake. Now, what Shankaracharya argues is that the same thing is happening for all of us. Just like a person had superimposed a snake on a rope, similarly, we are superimposing all the variety of this material world, be it cell phone, be it laptop, be it bag, be it wife, be it children, be it husband, be it parents, be it sun, moon, all the varieties that we are saying are a superimposition. Now, how did the person get to know reality? Everyone brought the torch, came, went near, saw, then they realized, oh, there was a badha. in that. Oh, finally, when he got knowledge that it's a rope, then the fear went away. Similarly, the distress of this material world will go away when you get the knowledge that it was just an illusion. Actually, there is absolute truth only, nothing else. Actually, there is absolute truth only. I was just seeing illusion. When you get this knowledge, the time is. Now, there are many arguments, there are many problems with this theory. We will discuss that later. What are the problems with this theory? But one thing you should understand is that either way you explain it, to make the absolute truth as nimitta karana means to impose avidya on it. That means that absolute truth can fall prey to avidya or ignorance. Now, this itself is a major problem, that if absolute truth falls prey to avidya, then avidya becomes the supreme. Ignorance is supreme because ignorance can cover the absolute truth also. So ignorance can never cover the absolute truth. Then they say ignorance covers us. That is why vyavaharika satya we use. Okay, whatever it is, it may be vyavaharika satya that you call, but there is some covering, right? We are not able to see the absolute truth. So that means that there is something powerful enough to make us stop seeing the absolute truth, and absolute truth cannot do anything. So in many ways, this Parinamavada and Vivartavada, both theories have serious problems. So Supreme Lord cannot be, the absolute truth cannot be considered as only Upadana Karana. Okay. Now there are the Madhva school of thought, who is very strong that the absolute truth is only nimitta karana alone. Okay, and Prakriti is different, and Prakriti is Upadana. Because of his making the clay, turning the wheel, the pot is happening. So he is like a potter, he is the nimitta, and the transformation is happening of the Prakriti. So he is the nimitta karana alone. That is his thought. Now there are some other schools like the Ramanuja Sampradaya or even the Gaudiya Sampradaya. They believe in Shakti Parinamavada. Parinamavada we saw was wrong. But Shakti Parinamavada means we agree that it's Lord energy only. Prakriti is the energy of the Lord. That way Prakriti is dependent on the Lord, and that dependent Prakriti is transforming. Just like my hands are bringing a change. If my hands are bringing a change, I am also part of that. Hare Krishna. Are you all able to hear me or no? Hare Krishna. Just a minute, please be online. Hare Krishna. Are you all able to hear me now? Yes?
Prabhuji, you are on mute.
Are you all able to hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
So, there are some schools which argue Shakti Parinamavada means that there is transformation of matter, and that matter is dependent on the Lord, part of the Lord. That is why you cannot say that it has got separated from the Lord. So, if you say it's separated from the Lord, then you have to accept two different powerful entities. One is the Lord and one is Prakriti. So then there is a problem. So that is why we accept this Shakti Parinamavada, where Shakti is dependent on the absolute truth, and that undergoes transformation. That makes the Supreme Lord also as the this, what is that, Upadana Karana. This is what these schools argue. Okay, now yes, Chaitanya Jivan Prabhu, you have something to add.
Prabhu, can you please again just give the reasoning why Madhvites only accept this one, Nimitta Karana?
Yeah, because
What is the reason?
Yeah, because they are afraid that any transformation theory, avidya, will either lead to
Huh.
vivartavada or parinamavada. Means you somewhere come to the understanding that the absolute truth is covered by avidya. So that misunderstanding
That's
should not come inside. That they are very careful. That is why they say it's a different entity.
because Prabhu, the Panchabheda, in that there is already established that Ishvara, Jada Bhed. So Jada and Ishvara are always different, are always different. So then there is no question that Jada will become or Jada will
Yeah,
touch
but then
Ishvara.
the others concern is that the then that becomes an independent thing. Prakriti becomes independent transformation.
That's what. That's what. So that difference has to be that
Yeah.
is fine.
So that concept of dependence is Shakti
That Jada.
Parinamavada only. It's like I give 10 rupees to my son to bring something from the shop, or I am
Yeah.
cooking and I do some vegetable. I give some vegetable cutting service to my son, and I use those vegetables for cooking. Actually, it's me only who has done. It's just that he has helped a little bit, but actually the whole thing is done by me only. So similarly, that dependence, through that
That is
dependence, actually is Supreme Lord only who is doing that. But then Lord is not changing himself in the process of doing that. The dependent Shakti is getting changed. That point, if you are clear, Madhacharya wants, if you are clear with that point, then no problem. We will, you can accept Shakti Parinama. But if you are not clear with this point, then you may end up in the theory that avidya is covering Brahma. So that is why this one point you should be clear is what Madhacharya
sure.
says. Is it clear?
Yeah. Because in
Hmm?
all the tattvas and paratantra, they have explained. So it is understood that the Jada Prakriti is a paratantra there in the.
Yeah, but the dependence is there. That is the point. So the dependence has to be emphasized. Okay. Others are clear with this point? Any confusion till now? Or was it too difficult?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes. Yes, Prabhu. Please tell me.
Uh, but we have to keep this concept of Advaita. Any differences, then Advaita will be lose.
Sorry, can you repeat?
It's Jada is different.
Your voice is
So
breaking, Prabhu.
if matlab, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, please tell me.
Uh, like we have to also keep in mind this Advaita principle also, na Prabhu. So if we make this Prakriti, so then this problem will also, because then it is different tattva will come. So that's why
That is why the different
only, na
dependence
Prabhu.
is there. No, Shakti is Parinamavada. Shakti is dependent on the Supreme
Yes,
Lord.
yes, yes. That's why we have to Gaudiya has to keep it in that way, na Prabhu,
Yeah,
because
but in the
otherwise
process of explaining, you should not make sure that Parabrahman is changing. That
yes,
concept
yes,
should be very clear.
yes, yes.
So,
That's why it's Sakti Parinamva,
yes, Shakti
not
Parinamavada
Sarup.
also, we may say Shakti Parinamavada, but most of our devotees can have the understanding that the absolute truth is changing. Especially when you read the English translation in this book, you may get bewildered into thinking that it's the absolute truth that is changing as Upadana Karana. When we see that's why Moola Samskrita and the English, there is a difference. You should get a habit of reading the Moola Samskrita. In this book, if you read along with Moola Samskrita, the English translation, you are bound to get confused that absolute truth becomes Upadana also. Means the absolute truth changes. So no, not like that. You should be very clear that he is changing in a way that his dependent Shakti is changing. That is the idea.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Manas.
Shakti Parinam Vad conclude that like there is one truth
Shakti Parinamavada concludes that. Sorry, can you complete, Mataji, the sentence? You can type it also if there is problem with the network. Okay. I think it's better if you type it.
Sorry, I was disconnected. What should I type? Sorry.
You want to type it in the chat box so that I will read it there?
Question, right?
Mataji, your question, you type it in chat box.
Yes.
Because it may disconnect you. Does Shakti Parinamavada accept one reality? No. Shakti Parinamavada definitely understands that Shakti and Shaktiman are there. But at the same time, Shakti depends on the Shaktiman, that dependency. If this is the understanding, then it's right. Whereas gradually, just by reading some English translations, we tend to get confused that Shakti and Shaktiman are the same person. So that is where we can have a misunderstanding of it. So Shakti and Shakti Parinama, Shakti and Shaktiman are undoubtedly there, but there is a relationship of dependency. That dependency makes Shakti Shaktiman Abheda. It is not two. It's not that they have merged into one, but there is a relationship of dependency between Shakti and Shaktiman. That is the understanding. Is it clear?
One interest, this Sharma, very famous author. So there is one book, History of Dvaita Literature.
Okay.
In that, the very first chapter, he explains this name is there, this Dvaita Vedanta or Dvaita Vada. It's a misnomer sometimes. Like it's sometimes misunderstood. Because people think Dvaita Vedanta or Dvaita Vada means there are two independent realities. So
Yes.
he also gives some separate name for redefining or clearly defining what was the theology of Madhva. So I'm not able to recall now, but he explains this.
It is actually
That
Tattvavada.
Dvaita,
The understanding of Madhva is Tattvavada. Actually, the understanding
yeah.
we say that Madhvas are Dvaita and Ramanujas are Vishishta Dvaita, we are Achintya Veda Veda. But actually, it's the same Tattva in all across. So the Tattva that remains the same. So that is the point we have to understand.
Yes, but Dvaita is sometimes misunderstood that there are two independent realities.
Okay then, so we will like to keep the time, we'll try to finish at the right time. So now it's 7 minutes already. We will wind up now. So tomorrow we'll continue the discussion of Hariparatara. Thank you very much. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.